Welcome back to the channel. This is Gillis TV here today, folks, and we got some NHL trade rumors according to Elliotte Friedman. Well, before we get started though, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as we are trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year. We will be live streaming the World Juniors as well. Team Canada looking pretty shabby coming for the World Juniors, but hey, if you're into all NHL stuff, hit that subscribe button. And if you're in the MLB aspect of things, head over to Clemhawks, and we do all MLB over there. Like I said, Elliotte Friedman kind of dropped a bombshell the other week, well, probably a week ago, during the Oilers game mid intermission, saying Brock Boeser will be getting traded sometime this year. Well, Vancouver has come out and said, hey, he hasn't asked for a trade, but we are allowing his camp to go seek trade options that suits him, that he feels like that's where he wants to be. So, now Elliotte Friedman is coming out and saying some other stuff. So, according to Elliotte Friedman of Sportsnet, keep an eye on the Washington Capitals and the Vancouver Canucks. The two teams were recently linked to a significant trade involving the Canucks forward Brock Boeser. Team I wonder about for Brock Boeser is Washington. This is a personal opinion, but I wonder if Boeser and Anthony Mantha moves make sense for both the Capitals and the Canucks. The Capitals need a jolt, and as GM Brian McLennan said last weekend, can't do anything financially lopsided until there's clarity on Nicholas Backstrom's availability. Mantha's cap hit is slightly lower than Boeser's, and he's gotten one few years left on his contract, which would appeal to Vancouver. Anyway, just an idea. Boeser's agent was given permission recently to facilitate a trade out of Vancouver for his client. Not something you see every day, that's for sure, especially for a top six forward. Boeser has appeared in 21 games so far this season and has recorded 16 points, as Mantha, on the other hand, has had 13 points in 28 games and is also experiencing what many would call a down season. The Caps forward is being paid $5.7 million for the season and next, and does not hold any trade protection. Boeser accounts for $6.65 million against the cap and is signed through the 2024-2025 season. So he's suggesting that Anthony Mantha and Boeser would be going the other ways. Of course, that wouldn't be all. Washington would probably have to give up more than just Mantha, probably be a pick or a prospect to make this thing wild for the Vancouver Canucks. On the other hand, you got a guy like Boeser who could slide in with Yossi and Ovechkin. That's actually a pretty good line if you're Washington and you're thinking about that. But let's get to the stats here, as Mantha, has 6 goals, 7 assists, and 13 points in 28 games, and is a -6. Over the course of his career, he's a -28 with 238 points in 381 games. He was the 20th pick in the first round of the 2013 draft by Detroit. Part of that deal where Detroit sent him to Washington for Vrana and I believe some other things. I can't remember what exactly it was. Now, Boeser, on the other hand, has 4 goals, 12 assists for 16 points in 21 games as a -13. Over the course of his career, -24 with 272 points in 343 games. So, Mantha's not really the point producing guy like Boeser. They're pretty close, but he can do all the little things. He's more physical on the forecheck and whatnot, where career-wise, they're pretty close in points already. So this would make a move for Vancouver in a sense that, hey, we got this physical guy to go on a line with whoever, go in and on the forecheck and do what he does, and the superstars can get open. We see that in Edmonton with Zach Hyman with McDavid. Hyman does all the dirty work. McDavid comes in, gets the puck, sets everything up. That is what Anthony Mantha would do for like the likes of Pedersen or a Horvat. Somewhere on the line of that where they don't have to get into the physical areas per se all the time. Mantha does that, and so on and so forth with Vancouver. Now, like I said, you get Boeser on a line with Ovi and Oshie. Well, that's a pretty good line, I think. It's not top tier first line, but that's a pretty good first line. And then if Backstrom does come back, you split those three up, put Backstrom with Ovi or whoever it is they usually do, put the other two together. Now you got two lines that can produce equally, and I'm not forgetting Kuznetsov, who could fit into this scenario as well. So you got a pretty darn good two lines there if you're the Washington Capitals. So I can see where Elliotte Friedman says, hey, this makes sense for both parties in a sense, but of course, Vancouver would get the eye peeling, hey, Mantha only has 2 years left this year and next, or 1.5 almost, and Boeser has 2.5. Well, that's 1 year of not paying someone that you could go re-sign a star stud that you have to. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. This has been Gillis TV here on the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.